I think all these are pretty similar. So, and did you do this one on the horizon line or above?
Yes, I did that
On the horizon line. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So if you had this printed out, you could follow the same steps. But, you know, I still like the idea of sketching it flat as sort of a map for what I'm going to do when I get to the linear perspective. That's a lot to keep track of in your head if you don't have a guide. Or it would be a lot for me. I noticed that the letter is skinnier at the bottom and the top, but thicker on the sides. So that's pretty much it. I think I probably could have made it thicker still. And maybe I'll do that, make it a little thicker. All right, and then I want to draw a box. And I think that O is a little bit tall. So I may just kind of keep that in mind, that it would probably be better a little shorter, a little more square. So here's my horizon line.
I don't see what you're seeing.
I'm not sharing the screen. You guys got to tell me this stuff. Sorry. Okay. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that. You guys are sitting there saying, what's she doing? Okay. Does that feel right, Steph?
Yes.
Okay. The O is thinner on this side and longer on this side. Okay, so I'm gonna make it thinner bottoms, thicker sides. And remember, you know, if something's farther away, it's going to be smaller. So whatever distance I make this, now let's just say I made it, whatever, a little over 1/2 centimeter. My distance here had better be more than that. There are ways to sort of exactly calculate it, but I'm happy if you just make sure that the closer side is smaller, is bigger than the farther side. So hopefully you can see how I did that. You know, I'm just going to go back up here as I try to trace this letter out. If I make an X, I'm finding that just kind of right inside that X is where the O passes over, and then on this side, because I'm not drawing them perfectly, on this side it's almost exactly where the, you know, where those lines meet. So I may just add that mark to guide me a little more on where the O is going to go on the inside. Oh, why did I? Oh, oops. That's what I did wrong. Okay. So those lines should line up from the vanishing point. They're not lining up that great. So somewhere along there is going to be this relationship down here. This is like between halfway. So the O is probably going to come to here. So if I have enough little kind of tick marks on here, it's easier to just draw comfortably. I'm still probably going to have to make some changes, but I'm doing my best. This is feeling really tall still. I don't think it's going to affect the demo, but I want to just make the point that it feels a little too, you know, well, maybe it's turned in space enough that it would be that narrow. I don't know. So that's a little lumpy. And it feels kind of tedious to have you guys sit here and watch me do this, but I think it's also how long it actually takes to do it. So I think it's good, you know, for those purposes. When you guys watch some of my time-lapse videos, it seems like it all gets done in 20 minutes, and then you spend, you know, 20 hours on it. All right, so let's, I don't love that, but let's just go with it so we can keep going. This is what looks the weirdest to me right here. Like this should come in more. All right, so so from there, I need to find those edges, those two edges where the curve happens. So bringing my ruler up, you know, right here I bump into the O. then on the way down, right here is the first point that I hit. You know, this point right here is showing where the O will touch, but over here, you know, this doesn't mean anything. We've got to find that point inside that plane. So the best way to do that would be finding the last point where the O touches, wherever that is. I think anywhere in here could kind of be justified as being that point. You go straight up, back, and then when you hit the top back of the box, which I have not drawn yet, oops, okay, so when you hit the top back of the box and head down again, that is that point. So, you know, to get myself from here to here, hopefully I can visualize, you know, by looking at that negative shape, how that looks. Down here, I'll do something similar. That last point where I see these lines touching, go back. And again, I haven't drawn the back side of this box yet. So if I don't have that, it's not going to help me. Go back. And then where I run into the back side of that box, that's where I'll travel up again. It's happening just inside this vertical that's already here. So that point right there is going to be this point. So I know this point just because this line happens to be going right along that same point. So from here to here, I know I'm looking at, you know, a very subtle curve. And then from here, and these are the two corresponding points, right? From here to here, I need to finish that O shape. And that, it's not a terribly complex curve, so I felt like I could kind of eyeball it. Now, do I see through? Will I see through the O? That's the last question to answer. And the way we're going to answer that is by finding this point on the back side of the box. So I'll need to know, you know, I keep saying, oh, I didn't draw that part of the box, I didn't draw that part. I need to finish out this box if I'm going to have any success with that, because I need that back edge of the box to be complete. Okay, so there's the back edge of the box. So I'm going to take this point, I'm going to travel back to the vanishing point. When I hit the back side of the box, I'm going to go to the other vanishing point, so I'm traveling along the back side. And then when I hit this back corner, and make sure you know what the corner is, it's this. That's the center line for the front of the box, so don't confuse those two. So when I hit that, I'm going to travel forward in space. And then wherever I hit this line, so now I need to draw that point going back in space. Wherever I run into that, you know, these are the corresponding points. Wherever this line runs into this line, that is the back of the box. So that's telling me, yes, I see a pretty good bit of the opening. I'm just trying to match this as best I can. Same thing up here. What might help me up here is to have, you know, that center point we were talking about? I don't know if we'll see that or not, but it would certainly be helpful to know if I run into it. So, seems like I'm going to hit it right here, and then my line is going to curve back down. Okay. How's that working for you, Steph?
I definitely needed the step by step.
Okay, good.
That's for sure.
Good. Okay. Well, that I did record that, I think. Yes, that is recorded. So you'll